Matt, it's good to see you. It's been a while. You've been on the road, then there's the holiday. It's nice to have you back here.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in, Dorian, and looking forward to this big event that we've already had a part of, but still a little more to go.
That's right. Of course, Matt's talking about the Winterfest game between the Walleye and Wings that happened on Sunday. Before we get into the game, what an atmosphere last night. More than 11,000 people, a new Toledo hockey record. You got to call that game, obviously. Just what was it like out there at Fifth Third Field?
It was amazing to see the amount of people, and you know, our moniker has been, you know, back at full strength, and seeing more and more people coming down to the Huntington Center and the support. And we know how hockey goes in the Toledo community. It's been phenomenal over the years, but to see that many people downtown, you know, it was a chilly night, but boy, they were ready. They were fired up. It was a lot of fun. Every time the Walleye scored, it was loud. It was great, even into the overtime. People were at the edge of their seats. So it was a wonderful atmosphere. It was every bit of 11,231. It felt like it. It looked like it.
Well, we certainly hope to see that many or more for the New Year's Eve game against the Indy Fuel. Toledo actually outshot Kalamazoo 47-38. They just couldn't put pucks in the back of the net. 2 out of 47. There's a reason that I don't do something in the math field, but it's not a great percentage.
It is not. And actually, going back the last couple games, even on the road last weekend, they didn't score a ton of goals at South Carolina or Greenville. These things come and go in waves. You remember earlier in the year, they were scoring about 6 goals a game. And we talked about it. They're not going to keep that pace up. It's just not going to happen. And, you know, for a long time, they stayed over 4 goals a game. But these things come and go in waves. You get a lot of opportunities, put a lot of pucks to the front of the net. But one thing that was kind of missing, and Dan talked about it after the game, Dan Watson, say, you know, maybe a little more traffic. You know, getting more guys towards the front of the net certainly would help. You looked at the 2 goals that were scored. It was a deflection, and it was a rebound goal for Toledo. And those things were kind of lacking a little bit. You get a lot of shots sometimes, that's great. But if they're not getting as many in the quality chance department, then it's certainly, you know, pause for concern. But you know, overall, this is an offense that I would bank on scoring more times than not. Yes, you're going to have some games where you don't score a ton of goals. Kalamazoo came in averaging 3.5 goals a game themselves, and they got to 3 because we went to a shootout. So it's not like they were lighting the scoreboard up as well. It was just, you know, one of those games where a lot of people are, you know, getting opportunities, shots were coming, goaltending was good, and you just weren't getting goals, and that can happen. Maybe we turn around and we might see 10. You never know on Friday night, then you forget all about the 2 that you scored the last game.
All right, well, of course, all of this is wrapping up with that New Year's Eve game. The Walleye taking on the Indy Fuel. They're 2 teams that are very familiar with each other. What do you expect to see from that matchup?
Well, you know what? If the history plays into it, what we were talking about with the low scoring that occurred on Sunday, is that these 2 teams have played a little more high-scoring games. There's been some more offense when Toledo and Indy have gotten together. Now, the Walleye have won the first 3 matchups, so we'll see if they're able to continue that trend out at Fifth Third Field and find a way, Dorian, to get a win outdoors. 0-1-2 so far over at Fifth Third Field, going back to 2014 and Winterfest time. So they need a win. We got to get a win.
No better way to do that than to close out 2021 with getting that first win outdoors. And if you don't have your tickets for that game, don't worry. You can watch it here live on BCSN.